Alrighty, everyone. This is Guard again. This will be my third Alpha Rise draft. Good old school draft. Got a couple options. I think Apocrymancer is pretty bad. It's really small and it only works on Alloyan spells, so I'm not a huge fan of it. Even though I do like levelers in this format, I actually quite like a Allomancer, but I think Necrium's the weakest color. Alloyan's definitely the strongest, and leveling's so strong that I think this card's actually fine, and I'm probably gonna take it here. Because it puts me in a Loyan, and I haven't actually drafted a Nixium in a very long time in Alpha Rise, and I think it's close to the best card in the pack. Wrath is really, really good. Venomous Nether Scale's okay. There's a couple poison cards. Poison Coil's probably the best one. Venom Fang's actually probably the best one, and then Poison Coil after that. But Nether Scale's pretty good by himself. A 7-11 at rank 2, and a at rank 3 it basically kills everything. It's kind of like a mini Malice Hermit that if you let it stay on the field, it'll just kill all your creatures. Zrath's Swill is okay. It's just like a zombie tribal card that's nothing special. Flamebreaker Invoker I don't really like because there's not very many good Tempest spells in the first two sets. So I'm just going to take the Alamancer here. And there's no Necrium cards. The best card's probably Vault Tactician. I'm going to take that. Raleigh Symbiote's actually pretty good. It's a 5/5 10 10 15 15, so it's good, especially rank 2. And if you play it in a lane with something, it gets regenerate 2, 4, and 6, which is quite strong. Nexus Core is garbage, unplayable trash. Frost Shatter Strike's extremely good, but I want to be in Necrium for the Alamancer, because it gets a regen if I'm in Anixium. And Soothing Radiance is just like a strictly worse Druid's chant, or not Druid's chant, Verdant Grace. So let's take the Symbiote. Tarsus is really strong, but I do not have any. It's really, really strong in Utera, like Utera Necrium. There's nothing really in Alolan that does it, but it's much stronger than the other two options, and I can pick up like Death Seekers or Corpulent Shamblers and stuff like that. There's some really good options with it in just Necrium. Blightwalker is much better than Gloom Reaper Witch. Gloom Reaper Witch kills things that are small, and Blightwalker kills things that are big. Generally, if you want to kill something, you want to kill the big things. So, Anixium Phantasm's probably the best card. It's nothing special. Like it's just a kind of small creature. It has a really good ability with Alolan where it permanently takes their attack away. It's got great art. Like I really like the art on this card. And my other options aren't that great. Like Warmonger's Mod is okay. It's nothing special. Techno Gnome is really good at ranks 3, but it's hard to get there since I only have one leveler right now. I don't really want to take it. I'd rather take the more defensively minded Phantasm card and try to beat people in late game. These two cards are actually fine. Sparkblade Assassin's really huge at rank 2. It's a 12-13. It's like almost a Cinder Colossus at rank 2, which is absolutely gigantic. Zombie Infantry is also fine. It's just a decent Necrium creature, nothing huge, nothing special. Necroslime I like quite a bit because it's a 4/4 that turns into a 6/6 on the first turn because it's kind of like Scourge Hydra in the current set, where Scourge Hydra is a 7/7 that you'd have to deal 3 damage to a creature. Necroslime is a 4/4 that turns into a 6/6 when you deal 3 damage to something, and then every other turn it gets bigger, or every turn after that it gets bigger, because you just deal 3 damage to something else. So it works really well if you draft like Corpse Crawler, or not Corpse Crawler, Death Seekers, Shamblers, anything with regen works. It's just like a really cool card, especially at rank 2. It gets huge. It's like a 12/12. That's really strong, and since I already have the Raleigh Symbiote and like 2 other creatures with regen, it's definitely the pick here. Metamind Overseer is fine. I don't think I've talked about Etherphage Oracle in the last 2 videos, but this card's awful. Like, there are no good Alolan spells, really. Like, you might find... Actually, can't think of one. But for the sake of argument, let's say there's a good Alolan spell out there. It's a 6/2, which is fine. It trades with most things at level 1, not everything. Trades with pretty much everything at rank 2 and 3, but it'll never survive combat, which is not what you want in a creature. You want creatures to be as sturdy as possible, while also doing like decent damage. What we've got here, we've got a Raleigh Ooze, which it's got weird scaling. It starts off at a 2/2 and puts a 4/4 into play, and the next rank it starts off at a 4/4 and puts a 7/7 in play. This card's actually pretty good, especially with Tarsus and Necro Slime, so I'm gonna take it here. I actually like this card quite a bit. And Steelforged Avatar is not great since it requires your hand to be full of Alolan cards to get big. Matrix Warden isn't quite exceptional. I think a Tower Scout's the pick here. Mobility is a little stronger than Regeneration, and Scavenger Scorpion's level 3 is really bad. Ionic Ward Charger is probably the best common in the set. It's a 4/7 with Mobility 1, and at rank 2 it's a 9/12 with Mobility 1. It's just gigantic. Don't remember what this card does. Deal 2 damage to itself, and target creature gets -2/-2, and then it scales up. It's really small at rank. It has like no attack to speak of. It's like a removal spell on legs. Maybe it's worth it. I'm not sure. I think it's probably, if I take this card, I think I'd be playing around with it, and I think it's just much worse than having a War Charger. Not because the card is bad. It looks pretty good. Like, it kills itself, which kind of sucks, but it makes their creature smaller, so it's kind of equals out. So it would be a good card if it actually had any attack to speak of, but it doesn't. So while it's killing itself, it's not actually putting up any pressure, which is what I want in a card. I don't want like a walking removal spell, because if I try to use it as a removal spell, it'll just die to a block before I can actually get the full value out of it, all of its toughness or all of its health. So I'm just going to take the War Charger, be happy with it. Most of these cards are pretty bad. Aegis Pulse and Siphon Battlesuit are really bad. Charnel Titan I still can't make good. Vengeful Spirit's a pretty good blocker. I think Aloy in general is the pick here just because it's a decent card. Like, there's several cards in Aloy that trigger off of having a certain amount of attack, notably Light Shield Patrol. So playing this guy with my pretty low power creatures and high toughness creatures would be a good way to buff them. I think this pick's pretty hard. I could take Deathseeker here because I have a Tarsus and a Necroslime, and it'd be pretty good. It also lets me take Crypt Conjurers, and Deathseeker is actually pretty good in this format. In the current format, it's kind of like whatever, but in this one, it's actually pretty good. Nexus Pile is just a large creature at rank 1. I don't think I need that. And maybe I'll pick up another one. Like, Nexus Pile is just a generally good creature. Kind of messes with my mobility off the War Charger and the Tower Scout, but not that big a deal. I think Sparkbot is okay. It's just a decent creature. It's a little small for rank 3. Or a little higher health and smaller attacks. I'm just going to take the Deathseeker and try to go like Corpse Crawler oriented. I used to like Magician's Drone a lot, but it's just too small. Like, it has average health at ranks 1 and 2, and actually a little below average health for having like no attack, and it just gives attack to other creatures, which is neat if it can be unmolested, but it never is. Necrotic Worm is actually pretty good. Its rank 1 and 2 aren't great. Its rank 3 is gigantic. It's like one of the biggest rank 3 creatures in the first set. It's like that Fangwood Ravager, the 5/5/9/9 17/17. It's like that, but on a stranger scale. Got another War Charger. Excellent. All these cards kind of suck. Nether Embrace is kind of a cute throwback to... This card was printed way before Howl of Zith, because Howl of Zith does 4 damage per rank. So rank 1, Howl of Zith does 4. Rank 2, Howl of Zith does 8. Rank 3, Howl of Zith does 12. Rank 4, it does 16, and so on. Nether Embrace... You drain them for 4, then you drain them for 7, then you drain them for 12. So it's worse at rank 2 than Howl of Zith, and it's equal at rank 3. But in order to get it to rank 3, you actually have to play it twice already, whereas you don't have to play Howl of Zith at all to get 12 damage at rank 3. It just does it. So this card is quite atrocious, because you never want to play it, and 4 damage late game is nothing. Death Current's okay, I think that's what I'm taking here. Touch of Blight makes your creature into a Blightwalker, which is not great because you're basically trading your creature and this spell for their creature, which is a 2-for-1. Definitely not how you get card advantage. Metasight is way too slow. Like, I've already discussed it previously, I believe. Sap is bad. Phalanx Squadron's not good in this deck because I don't have any armor. So that leaves me with Death Current, which is a random removal spell. It's better than nothing, I guess, which is pretty much what the rest of the pack is. I could take Cull the Weak to go with my Onyxium Phantasm, or I could take Skynet Glider because it's quite a strong card. I think, or I could take Fellwalker because I have a Tarsus Deathweaver and a Necroslime. I think I'd rather take the Skynet Glider though, because it's very large, very in charge, and it's got a good mobility. Mobility 2 in the center lane that lets it hit every single lane. I'm gonna take the spell here because Ghastly Touch is pretty okay. Actually, it's not as good as I thought it was. I thought it was much better at rank 2. It's 3, 6, and then minus 12, so it's like the opposite of Enrage. Still probably pretty good, honestly. Since I don't really want another creature, I want something to interact with them. These creatures, I think, are worse than the first spell I have. Dark Art Wonder is okay, especially with Spirit Leash, because it gets regen. But I'm just take the Ghastly Touch, and then take the other Death Seeker for my Necro Slime. These cards are both bad. Steel Shaper's Wand has the potential to do something. Here we give nothing, pretty much. Energy Surge is a constructed playable card, but not draft, because you can't afford to play it in rank 1. And the cards you're drawing into are generally not that great. Necrovive is... I've played it before. I've never really been happy with it. It just gives a creature regen. Metamind Explorer is way too small to matter. It's never good. Same with Grimgaunt Spectre, though it has a really good rank 1, or rank 2, I mean. 11/11 with mobility 1 is huge. But the Night Gaunt has the potential to be huge with the regen and any pump spells I can grab, like a Matrix Warden or a Spirit Leash. So we'll go with that. I'm gonna grab... this is close. I mean, I'm gonna take the Dark Shaper's Wand here, but I hate that I'm taking it over Technosmith, because I really, really want a Technosmith. But they kind of serve the same function, and making my underleveled spells better. Dark Shaper's Wand kills things, and Technosmith is just a creature, so I'm gonna take the Savant. And then take nothing, because this pack sucks. Spirit Reaver's okay. It's a decent sized creature that whenever your opponent gains health, it gets bigger. No one really gains health in draft, so that doesn't really matter. Digitize is decent. It shrinks everything your opponent controls. I've actually never played with it, I think. I probably have played with it, but I don't remember playing with it, so I can't remember how good it is. It's probably worse than Siphon Augmentation, because Siphon Augmentation works pretty well. I like this card. It's decent in rank 1 as long as you play around it ahead of time, like if you have a creature in the center lane. And then in rank 2, it's really good. It's free pump, which is quite strong. So I'm going to take Siphon Augmentation. And then Grimgaunt Predator, which is a huge threat. A really strong card. Nothing that I'd like here. Grave Pact is not good because you have to kill your own creature to kill one of their creatures. And it's level gated. So it's horrible. I'd actually rather have Contagion Surge, because at least with Contagion Surge, I have the chance to rank it up with an Onyxium Allomancer. I have a lot of Necreum cards and very few Alolan cards, which kind of sucks for my Phantasm, but it's good for my Allomancer. Here we've got Spirit Leash for my nonsense, gets rid of my Death Seekers, pumps any random creature like Night Gaunt. But I'm tending towards Corpulent Shambler, because it helps my Tarsus, it helps that other card I have, Necroslime, like those two cards. I think that's a little better than just having a Spirit Leash for Night Gaunt. Yeah, I think it's much better. This card's quite good. I like this card a lot. Sonic Pulse, his compared to Digitize is horrible. Like, they really push the bar on the Digitize there. So, just taking the Shambler. Shambler is, I think, only a 7/7 at rank 2, but it puts a 3/3 into play. So it's like a 10 power creature. Rank 1, it's really strong. It's like an 8 points of power. And then at rank 3, it's 18. So it's a really strong card. I like it a lot. Bone Scythe Reaver is a strong card. It can kill any underleveled creature, but it's kind of small. I'm going to take Corpse Crawler, because Corpse Crawler is gigantic, and I have a bunch of Death Seekers and random tokens, where playing a Corpse Crawler in rank 1 or 2 is going to be really strong. Zithian Host is unplayable. It just doesn't do anything, and it's too small. It's a 5/3 that does 5 damage to the opponent when it dies. So this is a clear Matrix Warden pick. And then Tarjan Pact. It doesn't scale very well. If this scaled better, it'd probably be good, because +2/+2 and regen 2 at rank 1 is pretty strong, actually, even if it's only Necreum creatures. But at rank 2, it just basically does the same thing. So it doesn't scale at all, so it's like not really worth playing. Let me see how many. I can't sort by faction here. I have a lot of Necrim cards and not very many Aloyan cards, so I think I'm just gonna take the Aloyan creature. Even though it's not as good as Bonsai Fever. Bonsai Fever is not. It sounds weird that I'm devaluing Bonsai Fever. Because it does kill a creature, an underleveled creature. I don't think my allied. Yeah, I think Bonsai Fever is just enough better. And then Tech Upgrade, I think, is the pick. I sorted by attack for some reason, so I can't visualize how many spells I have. I have 4 spells. Yeah, I guess I'll just take the Tech Upgrade. I don't need another random creature. I have no idea how good this deck is, honestly. I think I did okay. I have a bunch of random creatures, a bunch of pretty good heroics, the 2 Inixium cards, and a Grimgaunt Predator. Maybe I'll just win all my games with Grimgaunt Predator and Tarsus Deathweaver. Yeah, we'll see.